Right, and we are live, and yes, it looks completely different. This has been a shock to all of us. We're going to have to sort out the layout in a second. But hello, we are Boardgame Opinions. We are playing Hanabi on Boardgame Arena. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Steve.
I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
I'm Matt.
All you can see of Dave is like his chin. Right. Perhaps you guys can explain this new layout while I try and sort out the pictures, because it's actually going to be quite difficult, I think, for us to get the pictures in the right place. I can't easily move that.
There's a beta testing person, a person in charge of the Hanabi beta test for Hanabi Black Powder, which is some of the expansions. As he was making it, the idea was that the site was then going to implement the design choice and the layout choice that he was using for Hanabi Black Powder for all Hanabi. So when you choose the game, you don't choose Hanabi or Hanabi Black Powder. You choose Hanabi and you get them all together. And the main feature of this would be that he's aiming to make it feel more like it would happen in real life. So the default setting is actually not in a column. It's actually around the table, but you have the option to set it in a column. And we've set it in a column for a couple of reasons. One, we're used to it. And two, it's how we stream. It's probably a bit easier on getting people next to their hands and things like that. And then the other thing that they've changed, again, you've got the option to go back to the original, is the way you give clues. So we've put on fast clues, but the default is not to have fast clues. And fast clues is, like usual, you pick on the colour or the number you want to clue someone on, and then you pick their hand. Whereas the new method of cluing is to pick on the card you want to clue, and then you say what you would like to clue about that card, and then it will flag up all the things in the hand that match it. So basically, you could click on a blue 3, and then you've got the option to say, this is blue, this is a 3, you've got no 4s, and you've got all the different options, which is a bit harder, but it's a lot more similar to what you do in real life. In real life, you'd point to a couple of cards and you'd say, these are 2s, and that's kind of what you do in real life. So it might take a bit of getting used to, but we're going to have a go, and we'll set it out as much as we can, similar to last time. There's a couple of other things that's going to happen as well. The clue tokens, you can see to the left of the fast hints. Actually, you guys can't see your fast hints yet because it's my turn. They will kind of flip over like they do in the real life. So if they're on the white side, they're clues to use. If they're on the black side, you can't. And much more difficult is when we lose a life, you will not see it very clearly. You will not see the fact that we've lost 1 or 2 lives. The background underneath the cards on the left will slowly turn red. And every time you lose a life, a third of it will go red. And once you've lost 3, you're dead. So I will commence. And
so I should say, if you're watching the, I realise the spacing of the players is not correct, but they're in the right order. Yeah, so you can see I'm at the top, and then it's Steve, then Paul. Although I'll have to sort out the spacing of the hands later. Not ideal. I think we're going to try the commentary thing again, though.
Okay. So, do you want to do one without it, just so you're used to the layout and we can chat?
Go on then. We'll have one without.
He just doesn't want to talk to us.
I just think it's more interesting for people watching.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. The chat's a bit different as well. On the right, it says Steve to Dice Cup Merlin. That's Matt.
This card's a 1. Yeah.
This card is a 1. Oh, and you see you get the little, it sort of hovers it above it.
Yeah.
But without any colour background, so that we don't know it's been clued.
This probably means, though, that we have access to black powder, I guess.
We do.
Oh, you think?
Oh,
well,
really?
I mean, Matt's not played it yet.
Yeah.
It's available publicly now.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Cool.
I'm wanting to narrate everything I can see out of habit.
Yeah.
I need to be careful. And I think the red bar here indicates it's Dave's turn. Yeah. So you can see on the left the clues. These 3 mean that we've used 3 clues. Normally they just disappear, but they actually go into the black area to show they've been used. So we've got 5 clues left.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't told anything. Well, Well. So how do I? Oh, I see. We've got the clue things in the middle for the fast.
Yeah, that's what the fast clues do.
Hmm. So I think I need to do that. If you're not used to a 5-player, we only get 3 cards each. So hands, like cards, cycle through the hand very quickly.
That's an optional rule.
It is
3-card thing.
Yeah.
true.
There's it was 2 or 3 players is 4. Sorry, 2 or 3 players is 5, and then 4 or more players was 4 cards. That was the default in the box of rules.
I've been include 1. So number on the top, according to our system, means save. In fact, I think it's save in most systems. So when Dave was given the clue 5 earlier, he's obviously saving the 5 when it can't be played anyway. But when I gave Paul the clue 2, in theory that means save as well, because one of those 2s was on the top. It doesn't matter that the other one wasn't. If you clue number and it includes one of the cards on the top, that means save. Now that was a 0 clue. So Dave told Matt he's got no 5s.
Okay.
Which, Matt, in our system means play the rightmost card.
You've always got to watch out whether it could be a finesse as well.
Yeah.
A 0 finesse is dangerous, but if you're waiting for the last 2,
yeah,
and you get 0'd and you can see the last 2, you've got to cater for the fact that it could be a finesse, because you shouldn't really get 0'd before the 2 is clued.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard. I find it hard to keep track of everything here because it all looks so different.
Although, if what I got clued, if my 0 clue was something that either needed saving or playing, that'd be more important than a 2 that's just been drawn.
Well, you wouldn't 0 to save it.
Yeah, I mean, like, if he was looking at it going, oh no, I need
true.
to make sure he doesn't discard that, so he 0s me to make me play it, that's more important than telling, I don't know, you that you've just drawn something that needs playing. Because if he doesn't do something about my card, I might throw it away.
So I 0'd Steve there on his hand, which got him to play the blue 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now I should, in theory, have played the 1 in my hand. But if I'd played it, I think Steve might have discarded that blue 2.
Or no, because it's probably going to match one of the 2s you can see. You can see quite a lot of 2s. I probably would have clued the 2 that's playable. Maybe.
We'll see what Dave does. Welcome if you've just joined us. We're playing Hanabi. That was a 2 on Steve's hand.
Yeah.
Okay. We've only got 1 clue left. You can see on the left in the white area.
Don't worry, Matt's good with clues.
I'm gonna use it. I'm just thinking how.
from my perspective, there's an obvious clue that Matt would give. However, it's always very difficult because
Realize
you never know what you've got, and what you have could affect everyone else's decisions.
Yep.
You realise we can hear you. It feels like you're commentating again.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
I'm kind of commentating because I want it to be
Yeah.
a bit more interesting.
Kind of
This is kind of
general
just a practice game to
commentation.
get used to
Yeah.
the interface, right? If I do
Otherwise, we'll end up talking about politics or something.
heck. All right, I'm gonna.
I think we've all had enough of that. Not much closer.
I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better. I think.
Oh, I know. See, now look what you've started. We're talking about politics.
I played Bonfire yesterday against Dave. I won.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm gonna clue that.
Right, what's he clued? He's clued Dave on his green cards. Interesting. Well, I think I should just play. Steve discards. So the 2 clue on his chop again is obviously being interpreted as a save clue. He's not playing it.
Yeah, if my chop was a 3, I'm not sure Matt should have clued the green clue. Let me do that. Maybe.
It's like I'm disconnected.
Oh, we lost.
Oh no! No, you're not disconnected according to me.
Yeah, he's got a loading.
Oh yeah.
On his face.
Doesn't that just mean it's his turn?
No, because it's. I think you have a.
Refresh.
Oh, there we go.
Just refresh. Just refresh.
Yeah.
Sorted it.
Paul clues Matt to tell him
That's a 3.
he's got a 3. Okay.
So I'm just gonna play this card.
Okay, well.
I had a better clue to give. Oh, well.
Well, I've got no clues. You see the white area is now empty. So I discard. And we always discard the card furthest to the right. So that's that one. It's a yellow 4. And you can see there's a slightly new system of indicating cards that we've discarded. So you can see we've lost the yellow 3 and 4 and the blue 4. I don't like it quite as much. Like it's smaller. I find it harder to tell some of the colours apart the way they've done it.
Yeah.
And Steve clues Dave on his 3. Paul has to discard.
Yeah, just play the screen, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so I've been told both those cards are white. In theory, I would play the one on the left, but I'm not going to. I think I should discard. We'll see what happens. Well. Incidentally, it was Matt who clued me on the white cards. I think that's what you call a Matt clue. We'll see what happens.
Oh. Is anyone else getting that buzz? Or is that just my?
I am getting a buzz.
Me.
I can hear it.
Okay. But it's gone now.
Does anyone, it might be my computer.
Schrodinger Steve is watching my chat.
Can move my phone further from my computer, maybe. Okay, well, that's a 4. I'm just playing this card. Okay.
So Dave played because I didn't play my white card.
I'm going to discard.
Well.
Yeah, the layout is different. They've updated it with this new layout because this was what the beta looked like for the Black Powder expansion, and they brought the new graphics into this. So there's different layout options you can choose. You can have it players around the table. Looks like that, which is more like what you would see if you were playing at a table, but doesn't work very well with streaming. You can have players stacked, and then with
yeah, saw that coming.
Me too.
Oh,
like you even had time to save it, Matt.
well, I didn't think.
You didn't think that he'd think you clued him on a Matt clue.
I
think you just saved his 5 because the white 2's elsewhere.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the white 2 being elsewhere, and
yeah.
Yeah, so the issue there is the white 2, obviously.
Yeah, I figured I was surprised when he clued you white, because at that point I could already see enough 2s clued for the number of 2s that we were missing. So I figured the white one's probably in my hand, but
yeah.
But I don't know which one it is, and I can't play it until after the 1. So
yeah, I wanted to save his 5 and finesse the 1 at the same time.
Yeah, but if you clue 5, Jonathan would then throw a card he didn't need away, and then I can finesse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We didn't have many clues, so.
Yeah, but yours needed 2 clues. What you
made
did
it
needed 2 clues.
Like by doing that, you made.
Because I'd forgotten about the 2 in Paul's hand, yeah.
You made. I think you made things.
Which one is the white one? Assuming it's the first one if they're waiting, but I also don't want Jonathan. Well, he can't now because you clued him 3, so I assume that means you want me to play. It's easier for him to get rid of his. Well, I'm just going to do this.
I think that's correct. When you don't play, Jonathan knows what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just, he has a lot of cards to play now. And I just, if I could get one out of my hands, I was thinking if I could just discard my lead 2 if I think it's the white one, just to really let him know. But I worry that that's...
He knows anyway. He knows it's not the white 3. He knows it's
yeah,
not the
I
white
realize.
3.
Yeah. I get that. But it's, rather than discarding an unknown card, if I knew my lead one was the white 2, I could discard it and not worry, right? I think it's just safer to do that. So.
I think you had the opportunity to save the issue last time as well, Paul, because you clued Dave on his 4, but Dave had a play.
Yeah, well, at that time I didn't know that one of mine was white. All I can see is that 4 2s have been clued.
what colours do you think yours are?
Well, I don't know. That's the thing, right? Like green and white 2s have been clued, and I've got 2 in my hand. It has to.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I knew mine was green anyway, but that's fine.
Yeah. But I see 2 other 2s that are clued, and I know one of them matches one of mine. It must.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I don't know which one it is. I can't see them.
All right.
So Dave clued Paul red.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I know for certain that neither of my 2s are red. Good.
All blue, all multicolored.
That's true.
Okay. I will discard that.
You only discard when it's wrong, you know. Realise that. You could have saved Jonathan's hand, and you always clue. And it's like, oh, it's fine, he's got clues, you can sort Jonathan out. Oh, dear.
Was that wrong?
No, I'm just saying in general. When you've got clues.
Oh, in general, yeah.
Yeah.
It's expected.
Definitely feels harder to spot things with the new layout, just because I'm not used to it.
Yeah, I think that's a familiarity issue. I think if you can see everything on the same screen, you just got to get used to it now.
Yeah.
Yep. More white cards.
All right. So I play this 5. Oh, hang on. Do I? No, I discard this card.
Good choice.
So I guess
Oh, Steve helped with the stock take in the
there's that
shot.
one.
Nice one, Steve.
The white 3. Now, because I've included white, when it comes back to me, I should, in theory, carry on playing my white cards.
In theory.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We've been a little bit unlucky though, because we've not had any green or yellow ones.
Yeah, the green and yellow is just sitting there.
6 of them.
I
6 cards.
think it took a long time to get going. Our clues at the start were all saves or play a single card. There was no finesses for the first 8 clues.
Yeah, we. I'm surprised we didn't lose the multicolored 2.
Well, I think you should have let me clue it.
Yeah, like
The point where I threw my yellow 3, I think you should have let me got it play. Well, it's because Jonathan was slow in playing the multicolored 1.
Yeah,
But he didn't know I wasn't going to throw it away.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that needed to be
didn't
clued.
include Jonathan's 1 for the first round.
Yeah.
Include Dave's 5.
Yep.
Putting his 2 on the chop, and then.
But every time it came around to me, where I had an opportunity to save,
Paul can't.
Dave's 2,
Paul can't. Paul's the one. That's why you need to let someone else do it, because Paul can't. He's got 2 2s in his hand. He doesn't know there's going to be a clash. He can't save Dave's 2, and he didn't need to save it because it was playable. So it ended up being fine.
Well, and every time it came around, even if I thought about saving it, despite the clash, the potential for a clash, there was always a clue for Dave to give. So I'm like, I know Dave's not going to pass here. So
Okay.
Okay. we're going to have a lot of clues again. Just need to get those ones.
Okay, so I'm playing my leftmost white card. Where's the white four?
What a surprise.
So when it comes back to me, I will play the other white card. Unless I'm stopped.
Who's on the bottom? How can you tell them to play? Yeah, Dave's on the bottom, and I gave him the clue blue. So the clues now appear above the cards. So you can see Dave's card there. The blue 4 had like a blue card above it. And if you've given them a number, it fills in a number as well. And they've got little symbols, which helps with colorblindness.
I think the colours are generally distinct enough anyway in this game.
I think the green and blue are similar-ish. I don't know.
Jonathan, do you struggle with the green and blue?
No, they're fine.
No? All right.
I think no.
Yeah. But again, that kind of depends on your monitor as well.
Oh, your level of colorblindness.
Yeah.
And the hardest to distinguish, at least on my computer, is the purple and black if you're playing with the black powder.
Okay.
Because the purple is quite dark.
Okay.
If I was commentating at this point, I'd be talking about Matt obviously has a lot to think about, but I can't tell what he's thinking about because from my point of view, it seems fine.
What he's thinking about?
I know what he's thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. But I'm gonna Okay, if I've done that.
Anytime now.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
What did he do? He told
I gave
Paul about his green. Yes. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that doesn't really affect me, so I'm just going to play my white card. That is the white 5. That's good. We finished whites. Steve discards.
Okay. So
Whatever you've done, Matt.
I'm just not. I don't think we needed to be quite so clue efficient at this stage. Is the thing.
Well, we only have 7 clues left.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 6 at the time. We only had 6, Steve. Like,
Yeah.
something could have gone insanely wrong.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a really obvious clue.
Sir.
I mean,
I'm gonna do
well,
this.
I guess.
I think you have an opportunity to give another clue there, Matt. So
I was told about my red card. Okay.
I'm punishing you.
Why are you laughing?
Nothing.
I think Dave thought that there'd been an error somewhere,
Yeah, I think so.
but fortunately there hadn't.
Don't trust Matt's clue. Trust what Paul and I did in response to it.
Right. Now my red clue in theory just means play, so I'm gonna play that card. Oh, but it was multicolour. This is Paul's sweating face.
well, I have the same dilemma I had before, is I don't know the order of my twos.
Yeah. I don't think you need to know the order, in that it was Matt, wasn't it? It's Matt's responsibility at that point, I think.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, it's still not clear. It's still not clear. I think I'm just going to do this and hope it's right.
I think it has to be that one, otherwise Jonathan would have taken a turn off to tell you which way around they were.
Yeah.
The first time, you weren't actually
Right.
finessed. So if the first time when Jonathan got told on his white two, Jonathan thinks it's finessed, but you know it wasn't. So the first
Right.
time you're not told to play one of your twos, are you?
Yeah.
Well, the issue, of course, this time is the same sort of thing, right? I can see the other yellow two on a leftmost spot. So I don't know if the intent is for me to wait for them to play. I don't know if the finesse is for me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, true.
So it's back to Matt.
But then if it's not for you, playing that two and it misfiring isn't a cost.
That's why I played it. Because I figure it's just a misfire if I'm wrong.
Right, he's clued Paul on a red card. Right.
Interesting.
So I think I need to hang on, let me just think slightly carefully about this. No, let's not do that. We're going to clue. We're going to give a big clue. We're going to clue. I'm going to clue Matt on his fives. We need to keep an eye on the cards as well. There's only 7 cards. You can see at the top left, only 7 cards remaining in the deck. When they run out, we get one more turn each, and then it's game over. Paul plays because he was clued colour.
No.
We've got eight cards to play. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, we can do this, I think.
It's good.
Thanks.
Oh, We can still do this.
It might not be possible. It might not be possible now.
Yeah.
No problem. We're still good.
Jonathan gave a 5 clue there, right?
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah, he did.
If I play, what one does?
Okay, so which one should you play?
Which card are you going to play?
Okay.
If you know that card's wrong, it must be the other one. Unless you can see the red 4 in my most recent spot, in which case you think I've missed a finesse, I think you should get that right.
Yeah, which was exactly the case.
Oh, okay, then that's fine. Okay, maybe that was fine. I think then you should include yellow, Jonathan, on Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think it should have worked.
Oh no!
I mean, because the green two is surely more important for me than the red 4.
Exactly. That's why I thought.
Yes.
That's what
So
I thought.
I think because Dave can see the red 4 in my finesse, he thinks I've missed it, or thinks I'm going to come back to it. So I think you should just include yellow.
Okay.
Yeah. Or red.
Well.
Well, red. No, red on Matt doesn't work because again, Dave's got the same.
Yeah.
But if Jonathan clues me red and you don't play yours.
Oh no, because then Dave plays his yellow 4 and then you play a yellow 5 because it's the last 5 you can see.
Yeah.
All right.
And if I have to play the yellow 5, we then have to tell one of you two. No, that was.
Okay. I think we're going to run out of steam here because Dave needs to play 3 cards.
Yeah,
and we've only got 1 clue.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good clue, Jonathan, but I happen to have the red 4, which is probably made.
Yeah.
Probably
Steve having the red 4 made that trickier. I think if you
and it only matters if it's in my most recent spot as well.
Which it was when he gave the clue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think cluing me red would have worked better.
Except you had a multicolored.
Yeah.
Oh, is that multicolored?
That's.
I think yellow. I think yellow was fine because I think
yellow because the multicolored 2 was dead.
No, still cluing me red is fine. My multicolored. Multicolored. No, yeah, my multicolored card. Who gives a shit? The multicolored.
He knows it's not a red. He knows it's not a red 5.
And I know it's not a red 4 because I can see them both.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's tricky.
So yeah, I think cluing me red would have been the.
Oh, we might.
I just thought. Oh, the blue 5's already been played. Lost.
We might still do this.
Yeah,
we might still do this.
I was assuming that.
Wow.
Yes. No, will we? We might.
Yeah, because it goes clue, discard, and then Dave plays with 1 card in the deck.
Yes, yeah, we will, yeah.
Or discard clue, whatever.
Yeah.
We've just got 1 because you just played a 5. We actually got enough clues.
Yeah.
I'm going to discard. Because I can.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to discard.
No.
You don't. Yeah, it's different levels of skill there, Paul.
I have no idea what color my 5 is.
Well, now you do.
Oh, it's yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what happens if he draws the 5, though? I'm like, oh, right, there is no blue 5.
Yeah. Yeah, so apart from me not saving Jonathan's blue 5, that went pretty well.
Yeah, not bad.
It's the way you didn't save it, though. Was
Yeah.
And you made Dave leave the room.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
I think you were lucky that by the time it got for Paul to play that green 4, that I'd suddenly drawn the green 3.
Yeah.
So.
There we go. Not too bad.
Wow.
Detrimental cluing or detrimental information.
Yeah, it's because I was assuming he was going to play the white 2. Because I thought, I could save the 5 now, or I can see what he draws next after he's played the white 2. But obviously, he didn't play the white 2 because he thought it was a 3.
Or at least that it could be.
Right, waiting for Steve, Dave, and Matt.
Oh yeah.
Well done, Paul.
Click that.
Teacher's pet.
See you later, Schrodinger, Steve.
And Dave.
Have a good one. Dave doesn't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah, Dave might not want to play. I
Difficult
don't know.
decision.
Internet is being a pain.
Okay.
F5.
There we go.
Okay. There we go.
Right, so I'm going to commentate this one. So if you're watching,
All right.
you're going to get a blow-by-blow description of everything that I understand from all of Matt's crazy cluing.
Before you go away, there was a point, I watched through some of the commentary last week, there's a point where I gave you a clue of ones and we were just waiting for some fours and fives.
Okay.
And you went, what's he done there? We need to be getting clues back. Oh my God, I don't understand that. That's just ridiculous. And then 2 turns later, you go, whatever Steve does, he can't discard because we don't want him drawing another playable card. And at no point did it click why I told you had ones.
They were still playable, were they?
No.
No. You didn't want to draw a playable
Steve had
card.
a clue.
I had 2 5s or
Oh, I
something.
see,
Off
to
like 4
avoid-
5s.
yeah,
so I
okay,
didn't
yeah,
want to draw
yeah.
a card. And
Wow.
you said, I've got no idea why he's done that. Just, whatever. That's stupid. And then, like, a couple of turns later, you go, well, what Steve can't do is discard.
Yeah. Right. Bennick's just asking, do we have the conventions written down somewhere? No. What's your answer?
I think you should, John.
All up here.
Yes. So I will talk through this next game, Bennick. So I'll explain all of our conventions, and then hopefully just watching a game you'll get it. Because it's not that different from other conventions used on BGA. There are a couple of very important differences, though, and that's the main thing.
And it's more of a style thing, we might discard when other players would clue, not because it's a convention we've got written down, just because that's how our system has to function. But Jonathan will tell you, I'm sure.
More importantly, compared to BGA, is that we will save cards when other players would assume it's a play.
All right, so let me get this right. I need to mute you guys. There they go. I need to mute myself from them. Then I need to remove my headphones so I can't hear what they're saying. And now everyone watching can hear me, but they can't. And it's me to go first. So let's just check the view is actually sensible. Great, so we can see everything. So first thing I want to check is 5s on the top, and there's 2 of them already. So we just need to be careful about those. We don't want to lose those. We obviously need to get 1s played. Paul has a nice set of 2 different 1s. Dave's got a 1 on the chop. The chop, incidentally, is the card furthest to the right, the one that they're going to discard next, generally. There's a duplicate 1 in Matt's hand, but we don't care about that. So I think the best thing for me to do is to clue 1s on Paul's hand. That just tells him to play it. We always play our 1s right to left, not left to right. It's a little bit complicated to explain why that is better, but it is better to do it that way. Steve has clued Dave on his 1, so he's going to play. The danger is when it gets to Matt is that you might think, oh, Matt might discard his 5. Now, in most systems, that would be a crazy thing to do. In our system, we would be happy to discard cards generally, but not on the first turn. So if it gets back round to Matt and he hasn't been told anything, he could discard the 5. But on the first turn, he should really be cluing. It might also be I've got playable cards. So that's what Matt's kind of thinking about. Generally in our system, when you clue cards, like multiple cards, we're telling you to play all of those cards. Other systems on BGA will do that with 1s, so they expect Paul to play all of his 1s. But with our system, if you clue multiple cards, we always mean play all of them. And if you don't want somebody to do that, you have to stop them. And there's a few different ways that you can do that. But I'll just sort of explain it as it happens. I think will be the best option there. So, what is Matt thinking about? He knows he needs to give a clue. The problem is there might not be any sensible clue to give. We generally try and save 2s. So Dave's 2 on the chop here can't be played. There's no red 1 out yet. So giving a number clue on the chop means save in our system. So, oh my goodness. He's done the unthinkable already. We lost the blue 5 last time. And they're all telling you, I'll tell you what they're telling you. They're all saying to him, you can never discard on your first turn. He had to give a clue. Now, he could have clued Dave 2 on the chop. Yeah, that would tell him to save the red 2, which we would want to do anyway, okay? But you should never, in our system, discard on your first turn. Because we need opportunity to save the card. As it happens, Matt's now drawn the red 1, and we would normally look to finesse that. Okay, so finesse would mean, for instance, if you clue Dave's red 2, then you're actually but not with number. You can't clue number because number on the top means save. But if you were to clue that now some other way, I'll talk about that in a moment, then that would mean it's a finesse because that one can't be played. Now, Steve doesn't have anything we need to save. Cat doesn't have anything he can play. Paul is going to be playing, so I will actually clue now. So I'm going to clue Dave here. I'm going to clue him 5. I think should be fine. That's a 0 clue. I'm telling Dave he's got no 5s. And in our system, that means play the rightmost card. So normally the card that's on your chop. If you've got a card saved, we would generally ignore that one. So I'm telling Dave to play this one, but he should look at the one on Matt's finesse position, like the most recent spot, and Dave should not play that card. He should wait for Matt to play the red one first. So Dave could discard here. Oh, he just clued the 1. I don't think that really matters. He knows he needs to play the 2, but it comes after that one anyway. So it's back to me. Steve, if he discards the 3 is okay because we've got another one coming up. I could discard at this point. If we clue Paul, obviously, to play the 1, we don't need to worry about him discarding his 5s. Matt's discard is safe. Dave's going to play. So I could clue it, or Steve could clue it. I don't know, it makes a lot of difference, but I haven't discarded yet, so I'm going to discard. It's a white 4, that is fine. So Dave will probably clue 1 on Paul's hand to get the multicolour 1 played. Then Dave, because I clued it, will play the red 2. I think it was difficult. The reason Dave clued there was because the multicolour 1 was also on Paul's most recent spot, I think, so that was tricky. But he's played that one there, that's fine. It doesn't really matter, we haven't lost anything. Matt, if you can't see anything that's playable, we'll discard the blue 1, which is fine because we've already played it. We definitely need to save Paul's 5s. The way you do that is you clue number on the top. It doesn't matter if there's more than one card that gets clued. If any of the cards clued, when you clue number, are on the top, then you save all of them. So cluing Paul 5 in this situation will save both the 5s. And then Paul would discard the green 1, which is fine. We don't need that. So we're just missing the white 1. And then we need a bunch of 2s. Where are all the 2s? Where indeed? And what is Matt thinking about? This looks fairly straightforward. Like either he saves Paul's cards or he discards. Unless I've got anything playable. But if I've got something playable, he probably shouldn't be thinking about it for quite so long. Because he just clues it. A finesse, incidentally, is when you effectively get more than one card played with one clue. And you kind of clue a card telling them to play it when there's a card missing. So the card can't actually be played. And then everyone looks around, and if they can't see the missing card, it means they must have it. And it's always in the most recent spot. You can only finesse a card if it's the most recent spot. Right, Matt's clued Steve saying he has no 5s, okay? So he's telling Steve to play his rightmost card, the blue 3. Steve can't play it, yep, because it's a blue 1 that needs to be played next. So there's a missing card, the blue 2 is missing, and I look through all the other hands, and there's no blue 2 that we need here, so I must have the blue 2. The question is, where is it? Well, it's always in my most recent spot. So I play my most recent card, and it's the blue 2. And then Steve knows he plays that one, except he can't because then Paul would discard the 5. So although Steve knows he's going to be playing the blue 3, he's actually elected not to play immediately, but to save Paul's 5. That's quite important. So when it comes back round to Steve, he'll be playing the blue 3. There's no rush here, so it's fine. But yes, that was an example of a finesse. That's good. Paul's drawn the yellow 2. As soon as someone draws a card like that, a playable card, you don't look for how you can clue that card. You look for the finesse. That's the way you should do it. So everyone, when Paul draws the yellow 2, looks around to see if they can find the yellow 3 anywhere. Now I can't see it anywhere but it might be in my hand. So if somebody were to clue yellow on my hand, that would be a finesse, and it's actually telling Paul to play his yellow 2, because like the yellow 3 can't be played yet. We need the yellow 2. It's a missing card. So if you can't see it, you've got it, and it's always in your most recent spot. There are, I should say, generally exceptions to most of these conventions. Okay, so that's a straight clue on Paul. So that means there's no finesse available. Yeah, Dave's just clued him to say yellow, so he's going to play this first one, the yellow 2, and then he'll just hang on to the yellow 5, but now he knows it's the yellow 5. That's handy. He also knows, obviously, the other 5 is not yellow, or it would have got flagged up. So, what's Matt going to do at the bottom? Steve, remember, is going to be playing. He's going to be playing his rightmost card, that blue 3, when it comes back to him. Paul is also going to be playing. Will Matt discard is the question. I mean, Dave's got nothing that we can play. He's clued 4 on me. Now that's number on the chop, which means save most of the time. You can see anyway, no 4s are playable. Why would he want to save that 4? Well, we've lost the white 4. We haven't lost any other 4s, so almost certainly, double check, yeah, that is going to be the white 4. So it's my turn. As I say, we know what Steve's doing, we know what Paul's doing. Dave doesn't have any cards to be played. We don't generally save 3s. And Matt's got nothing that can be played. So I'm discarding, and I discard the chop card is now my middle card because the 4 on the end is now a save card. So I discard the green 1, that's fine. We don't mind losing another one of those. So Steve should now play his rightmost card, that's the blue 3. Paul then plays the yellow 2. Notice we've drawn the white 1, hooray. So we are looking for the finesse, remember. You're looking for where's the white 2, can we finesse the white 1 out? And not use so many clues. Now we've got plenty of clues. Again, rather odd layout with the new system here, but the white area is clues we've got. Oh my goodness, the whole screen's gone red. That's new. That means that was an error. Dave tried to play the red 1, which was his most recent card. He obviously thought there was a finesse somewhere. And I think that's because Matt clued yellow. I don't think that should have got Dave to play. Why did he think it was a finesse? Because it was Matt that clued, wasn't it? Matt clued Paul on his yellow cards, I think. I can check the log actually if we scroll down. Who clued the yellow? I can't find it now. It was Dave actually who clued it. Dave clued yellow, so why would Dave think? I have no idea. I have no idea what Dave was thinking there. For some reason, Dave thought there was a finesse happening. Maybe it was the 4 there. See, I think that's the white 4. Now, I've just been clued 4 there on my most recent spot. Now, the previous 4 was already saved, so I'm not... Normally, if both those 4s get flagged up and you don't know anything about them, that would be a save clue. But I already knew about the 4 on the chop, and I was already saving it. So because he's clued 4 again, I'm guessing this new card is a play clue. However, notice that Dave has drawn the yellow 3. Yep, which is the next yellow card. So I have to assume it's a finesse. It might not be a finesse, it could be the blue 4. But I'm going to assume it is. You generally have to. Matt also has the yellow 4, so it doesn't really matter. Obviously, he was given the clue, so he didn't know. But I would be discarding the one in the middle unless I can see another clue to give. Well, fortunately, Steve's got a white 1, so I don't need to discard. I can just clue that. There's no 2, so there's no finesse there, so I'm just going to clue the white 1. So I haven't played. That's just a straight play clue, yep. Because there's only 1 missing. So Steve plays it. Paul might discard, but I'm assuming, you see, that my 4 is a yellow 1. Now everyone will look at that, even if it's the blue 1, the fact that I haven't played it is telling them I can see a finesse. I can see a card that needs to be played in theory before my 4. So even if it is the blue 4, everybody knows somebody's got a card that can be played on the most recent spot. And so they look around, and if they can't see it, they must be the one that have it. So Paul sees that Dave has it. Matt was the one that gave the clue. But Dave can't see anyone else that has a playable card on the most recent spot. So Dave knows he's the one that's got the finesse. So in theory, this time he should play. We will ask Dave at the end why he played his red one. What finesse he thought was happening there, because I have no idea what he was thinking. Probably something to do with Matt's clue of 4 on my chop. If it's not the white 4, that's very strange from Matt's point of view. Because normally it just means safe. Right. What is Paul going to do? Well, he can discard quite happily. That's fine. Steve's got mostly rubbish. The multicolour 4, we haven't lost any multicolour cards down here, so that's okay. We don't really mind losing the multicolour 4. Matt's got nothing helpful here. So, I mean, I think I can't see anything that can be played. So I think Paul should discard. Because in theory, Dave knows he should play this from the finesse, the fact that I haven't played my 4 when I was clued. That tells everyone there's a finesse there. Maybe there's a problem with my hand, but in theory, I'm just playing my 4 when it gets back to me. I'm expecting Dave to play his yellow 3. It comes back to me and I play my 4. So I don't know why Paul has an issue. There we go. He's finally discarded. So Dave, I think, now should play. We'll see if he does. There we go. He's played it. So my 4 may not be the yellow 4, as I say, it might be the blue 4, but the fact I've not played it when I should have done indicates the finesse is there. Now Dave, if you notice, has just drawn the multicolour 2. That's fantastic because he's also got the multicolour 3. So we can just clue colour here, and Dave will play his first one, and then when it comes back to him, he will play the next one. Yeah, but if you clue multiple cards, he's going to play them all. So if we clue red or something on Dave's hand, both these multicolour cards get flagged up. He'll play the first one when it comes round to him, and then when it comes back round to him, he'll play the second one. So we get 2 cards played for 1 clue. Matt can discard quite happily. I'm playing. Steve's got nothing. Oh, I tell you what Matt is thinking. In fact, I'm not sure he was thinking. I think he disappeared somewhere. Now, what you can do here is actually finesse out both of the 2 and the multicolour 3 here. Now, it's dangerous, but that's never stopped Matt in the past. If you clue, let's say you clued red on this multicolour 4 in Steve's hand. Well, everyone looks at it and goes, that can't be played. But a red clue like that, it definitely means play. So Matt would be telling Steve to play that multicolour 4. So everyone looks around and sees, well, we need the multicolour 2 and the multicolour 3. They both need to be played 4. So effectively, that is finessing both the multicolour 2 and 3. Now, everyone looks around, and we can all see they're both in Dave's hand. But when Dave looks around, remember, you can't see your own cards. Dave can't see the multicolour 2 and 3. So he must think, oh, I've got both the multicolour 2 and the multicolour 3 in my hand. So when it comes around to him, he'll play the first card, always the most recent. Then when it comes back round to him and Steve still doesn't play, because he can see the multicolour 3, Dave would then play. So he's not done it. I thought he might have done that, but he could have done. He could have clued that. Then Dave would have played the multicolour 3, and then when it finally gets back around to Steve, Steve could then play the multicolour 4. So there was like a finesse to get 3 cards played there. That would have been great. So I'm now playing that one. I expect that it's the. I'm wondering about saving that multicolour 4. I could have the multicolour 4 on my chop. That would be a bit crazy, but I should not be saving 4s because I've got 4s. Now notice that was actually the blue 4. Yeah, so Matt's clue in theory was just telling me to play it, but because I didn't, I managed to get Dave to play his yellow 3. So that was very handy. Steve has told Paul about his white cards. That's good. So because Paul's drawn the white 2, there's obviously no finesse here. You might wonder why I picked white. There's a sort of slight clashy thing here. Paul knows it's not a clash. Or does he? I don't like the white clue. I know why Steve's done it. Steve's done it because he's also telling Paul that he's got a white card there. Paul, I suspect, is thinking, what if this white card that's been included is actually multicolour? Then maybe he should wait for the 2 and the 3 to be played, and then it would be the multicolour 4. But he's also probably looking at Steve's and going, yeah, but Steve's got the multicolour 4. Obviously, Steve doesn't know that. But I think Paul will play. I think he will. But that's probably what he's worried about. He's worried, what if it's a multicolour card? If it's a multicolour card, like if it was the multicolour 4, I think we should have just let him discard it. Like, we shouldn't have tried to get him to play it or clue it, particularly when his hand's so full anyway. We should have done that kind of clue on Steve's hand. So I think Paul will figure that out and plays white 2. It's really tough though, because the colours match. Like, it would have been better to clue, like if you just clued red or something on Paul's, sorry. The issue here though is that you can't clue obviously a different colour because it is white. White's the only colour you can clue. What would you clue instead of white? As I say, I think it's fine. I think it should work. If you clue 2, that would have been better. Normally that's the chop, yeah, because he's saving the 5s. So 2 on the chop would mean save, but all the 2s are playable, so he should play it. Yeah, and Paul actually told me about 2 of my 1s, so he just wasted a clue effectively because he's worried about this one. He's going to wait, I think, for Dave to play that and then come back and play the white 2, which doesn't really matter because we don't have the white 3 out. There's not a great rush to get that one played. Paul was being safe. Better safe than sorry. So he didn't need to do that, I don't think. I think he should have played. But at this stage, there's no harm in waiting. We don't lose anything, really. We've got plenty of cards left in the deck. We've got quite a lot of cards played. So I think that was the cautious option from Paul. Right, so it's back to Matt. So Dave's played his first one. It'll come back and he'll play that one. What we really want to do is clue Steve now to play that, but we want him to tell him to play it after Dave's played. But the problem, obviously, is that how do you clue it and let him know it's the same colour as this, because they're both multicolour cards. And probably the way you do it is you clue white. Which then gets very confusing, because we've got a whole bunch of cards that have all been clued white, but these are actually white and these are multicolour. And that might be what Matt's thinking about. Remember, this 4 on the end, I think, is the white 4. That's the only one that needed saving when Matt saved it. The ones... all right. Matt has just discarded. He's drawn a green 3, which we don't need right now. It's helpful, though, because if Dave discards this. So the question is, do I try and save that multicolour 4? Like, if I clue white, I think there's no way that Steve plays it, because either it's the white 3, in which case he should wait for the white 2, or it's the multicolour 4, in which case he should wait for the multicolour 3. So I think if I clue white, he will discard the blue 3 or give another clue. But there's no way he should play. That would be crazy. Yeah, he's discarded without even thinking. He knows it's not a play clue. Now that should also encourage Paul to play, I think, at this point, although he could still be cautious and could be cautious and clue again. There's only one clue left. Oh, he's finally played. So I think he's figured out that actually it must have been okay. Dave should now play his multicolour 3. When it comes back round to Steve, Steve will play his multicolour 4. So we're looking good. We are looking good. Now that's interesting. That is the white 4. There's only 2 white 4s. We've lost one, and that's the other one. So the card on my chop was not the white 4. I don't know what Matt was doing, and that's probably why Dave thought it was a finesse, because that's not the white 4. Who knows what that 4 is on the end? It's probably a card that needed playing at some point. One thing we can do is you can go through and check 4s. Oh, I've just been included yellow. It's a yellow 4. There we go. So that's fine. That's very bizarre. But I'm just going to play the yellow 4. Steve, but I just want to check the other cards. Paul discards the blue 4. Dave discards the green 3, which is duplicated, so we're fine. And then Matt, yeah. So one thing, it's always important before you sort of launch in and play or something, check all the discards. But this should be fine. I'm going to play. Where's the play? Play that one. There we go, yellow 4. So now Steve plays the multicolour 4. That's great. He's drawn the red 4, which is no good because we need the red 3 first. Paul knows, he knows for sure about these 2. And look, the yellow 5 is playable, so he plays the yellow 5. That's great. And we get a clue back. Whenever you play a 5, remember, you get a clue back. That's very helpful. So, what's Dave going to do? Can we see any playable cards anywhere? Well, the white 3 doesn't seem to be out. We have lost one white 3. We've got to hope the other white 3 is not too low down in the deck. Multicolour 5 is not here yet. The blue 5 is not here yet. The green 2, we could really do with the green 2. He's discarded, so we can't see any playable cards. There's another red 4. It's fine that we lost the green 3 because there's another green 3 in Matt's hand. Nothing. There's nothing we can play. Well, I guess we should just be discarding then. Yeah, he's discarding. So unless Matt draws something helpful, no, that's not helpful. I just discard one of my yellow ones, which actually turned out to be a multicolour one. Doesn't matter. We've got all the ones out. They're all useless. Oh, we've clued 3 on Matt's green 3. Now that's a play clue because it's not on the chop. It's not his rightmost card. But we need the green 2 first. That's going to go wrong, surely. But obviously we all look around, and if you can't see the green 2, the missing card, it means you've got it. So looking at my hand, I must have it, and it's always in your most recent spot. So this card on the left here, that is going to be the green 2. So when it comes around to Matt's turn, he won't play it, he'll discard instead. Which is fine, because we've got all the yellow cards played already. And then I'll play my green 2, and when it gets back to Matt, finally, he'll play his green 3. It's a shame then that we've lost the green 4. But it is what it is. What is Dave thinking about? Oh, look, Paul's picked up the red 3, and he's clued Steve on 4. Now, again, there are no 4s playable, but it's a play clue because it's not a number on the chop. So he's saying you need to play this. Everyone looks around to see where the red 3 is, and it's in Paul's hand. So we all know we haven't got the red 3, but Paul looks around, can't see the red 3 because he can't see his own cards, and realizes he has to play the red 3. So the clue of 4 on Steve's hand is telling Paul to play his red 3 first, and then when it comes back, Steve will play his red 4. So Matt, remember, should not be playing the green 3 because it's a finesse on my... I move this up slightly, does that help? You kind of lose the bottom of Matt's hand there, don't you? Okay, we'll do that. So he discarded, which means I should be playing. I'm going to play my most recent card. It's the green 2. Hooray. Steve will not play because he can see the red 3. So he'll wait and discard. Unless something's clueable, which it is. Oh, that's interesting. He has included this one, which is playable, the multicolour 5. He's included the white cards on Dave's hand. Now, again, we always play left to right. So when you include multiple cards, we're telling Dave to play the white 4 first. And if he comes back round to him, he'll play the white 2. Obviously, we'll stop him before that happens. But the white 4 is not playable. We're missing the white 3. So you look around, can you see the white 3? No, we can't. So I must have the white 3. And again, it must be my most recent spot. Paul, if you notice there, played the red 3 when he got round to him. So Steve will be playing the red 4 when it gets back round to Steve. Dave will not play the white 4 because he can see the white 3 in my most recent spot. So he'll probably just tell Matt about his 5 because we can get that played. That would be good. Matt should be playing the green 3 when he gets back round to him. So we've had a few interesting finesses in this game. Finessing's very important. Yeah, so Dave's just discarded. He doesn't want to confuse Matt, which is a good idea, I think. So Matt should be playing the green 3, which he does. I then play my most recent card because of the clue on Dave. That should be the white 3, which it is. Steve then should be playing the red 4. Paul knows it's a white 5, so he just hangs on to it. Paul has a handful of junk, so he can discard safely. When it gets back down to Dave, he'll play the white 4. And Dave also knows not to play this white 2, so we don't actually need to stop him because the only card that could be played after the white 4 is the white 5. This could have been a multicolour card, but the only multicolour card we need is the multicolour 5, and there's only one of those, and it's in Matt's hand, so he doesn't need to do anything there either. Paul will probably clue Matt on his 5 to get him to play that, so that Dave plays the 4, Matt plays the 5. Unless Steve's drawn a 5, there's no rush to get that played. What there's a slight rush to get played is the green 4, yeah, because that's the lowest one there. He's clued Matt on his 5, so obviously I've not got the green 4. Because that would be a higher priority. So Matt should, well, Dave should play the white 4 first. And then when it gets around to Paul, there we go. Paul should be playing the white 5. Oh, and he's just drawn the green 4, look. So Matt should play the multicolour 5. We've got plenty of clues. That's actually the priority. We've got 6 cards left, which is fine. So I think probably I actually just clue Steve to tell him that's playable. Although I suspect either he or Paul won't play because it's more important to get Dave's green 4 played. The reason I shouldn't clue the green 4 is because I might have the green 5 and then you could finesse it. Yep, there we go. In fact, look, he's clued green on my hand. See, if I clue green, it gets the 4 play, but then Steve doesn't play the red 5. But if I wait, Steve can finesse, so he's getting the 4 played on Dave. If you watch now, Dave's going to play the green 4. And then I'll play the green 5, all for 1 clue, and then Steve comes back and plays that. So it's much more efficient to play that way. So we're done. Oh no, the blue. The blue 5 we're missing. Oh, we lost the blue 5 early on. The very first, Matt's very first turn, he threw it away. So I'm actually going to stick my headphones back on now and bring the audio back up because effectively we're finished. We just need to wait for Matt to discard. And then I'll play. And then Steve plays. I don't know what Matt's doing. He should just be playing. They're talking about screens. You're very welcome, Bendick. If there's anything you're not sure about, then do ask. Happy to explain anything that we're doing. Right, I'm going to just unmute them so you can hear them, because effectively the game's over.
So
and unmute myself,
Steve,
so that now they can hear me as well.
Middle there, and
play,
I are the 2 owners.
It's not, it's Matt.
Oh, Matt.
Matt.
Oh, it's me. It's me.
We're all waiting for Matt. I've unmuted everything so that we can get Matt playing.
Sorry, I don't think I was finessing anything. I'm just going to play that.
Yeah, we're having too much fun here.
We've lost the blue 5 anyway, so there we go.
Yeah.
I play my green 5, Steve plays his red 5, and we're done.
And we're done. Yeah. So yeah, me and Steve are the owners of the Dice Cup. Dave is one of our regular customers, and Jonathan is also one of the regular customers. And he is him and Steve and another guy, Mark, do the Board Game Opinions YouTube channel. Yeah, our Board Game Cafe is closed at the moment as well. But we are doing... Are we going to play Black Powder now?
So I would suggest the last game of the night we do Black Powder.
Okay.
But,
and 4 cards.
It depends whether this is the last game of the night or not.
I think it will need to be, yes. We'll do one more game.
So I would suggest you change it to Black
YouTube
Powder.
channel is called Board Game Opinions.
In the table configuration,
Colours?
it will be Black Powder. Black Powder on.
Black Powder on. Right.
And,
this is
you
expansion
and I think we're going to suggest that we have 4 cards each. So I think the unofficial variant you want to take off.
I'm going to make myself a button so I can link that more efficiently.
Convention used.
But yeah, there
oh
you
my
go.
goodness, there's a whole pile of conventions listed.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
So
you can choose your convention.
Yeah, so basically the idea being when people sit down, they can look at what conventions the people at the table are willing to play.
We need to get Dynamo in that list, don't we?
Well,
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And then Paul can just say, I play the Dynamo system. Look, pick it.
Yeah.
And he'll be sat at an empty table for a while.
And then
they join anyway.
Yeah, they want to know how it works.
they'll be like, what the hell's that?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, maybe we could
I think my rating would be a lot higher if it.
All right. Steve, do you know who we need to talk to get Dynamo in that convention list? We probably need it written down. We need a written record of it, don't we? It's a
I
problem.
think so, yeah. I think there needs to be a board game geek entry or something.
Jonathan's streaming this live from his point of view, and he's doing commentary. So he mutes and turns off our sound in the Zoom chat, and he commentates to the YouTube channel.
So if you watch this on YouTube, on the Board Game Opinion channel, you'll get a blow-by-blow explanation of all the clues that have been given and why we give them and what they mean.
That was not a good game for you.
For me?
Because I bet you said, well, I've been told that's a 4, that must be white.
Yes.
Oh, I've been told 4s again. Well, I'll wait to see it play. This must be yellow. So Dave played the yellow 3, and then he played the 4. I think it was blue. Oh, the other one must be yellow. And then you got clued 1 to tell it to stop.
You shouldn't have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got there eventually.
Yeah.
Right.
Fun
so
time.
we're just waiting for Dave to accept.
He'd left the room. Did that go on my score?
That didn't count.
He's back. He's back.
Still in the under.
So I will also talk you through this one. This is with the Black Powder expansion. It's a fantastic expansion for Hanabi, but it does make the game significantly harder.
Yeah.
Right, so Dave, we're just waiting for you again. I'm going to mute you guys, mute myself from them, and remove my earphones. This will be interesting. So let me just get that in shot. There we go, more or less. Now you'll notice immediately, hopefully, there are some black cards. What are they? And there is a space for a black suit to go down here. So we are playing, obviously we're playing with the multicolor suit, which makes it harder because whatever color clue you give, the multicolor cards are always flagged up. But we're also now playing with a 7th suit, the black suit. Now, if you give a color clue on somebody's hand and their hand contains black cards are never flagged up by color clues, and you cannot clue black. There's no color black. You can't clue it. So that's tricky. The other thing that makes it especially tricky is that the black cards have to be played in reverse order. So you've got to play the 5 first, then the 4, then the 3, then the 2, then the 1. And the distribution is the opposite way around. So there are actually 3 black 5s, 2 black 4s, 2 black 3s, 2 black 2s, and only 1 black 1. So you've got to be very careful about throwing away 1s. Like normally you clue 1s if we've got all the 1s played. If you might have a black 1, you've got to think very carefully. This makes the game noticeably harder, which is why we've switched off the variant so that we've actually got 4 cards each, because that makes it easier. So let's see what happens. Matt is up first. We are looking for 5s, or indeed the black 1, because that's super dangerous to lose. On the top, we don't have anything, which is great. Steve's got 2 different colour 1s, but unfortunately he's got a duplicate 1 as well. This actually illustrates why it's better to play 1s right to left. We only play 1s right to left, everything else we play left to right. But we can just wait for Steve to discard the red 1, then clue him 1s, and he will play the multicolour 1 and then the red 1, and we don't need to clue him again to tell him about duplicates. Or Matt could just launch right in and tell him about them, in which case he'll play the red 1 first, then the multicolour 1, and then we will need to stop him from playing the other red 1. I'll explain how we do that when it gets to it. So we know what Steve's doing. I look around and Paul's got a green 1 that could be played. Dave's got a yellow 1 that can be played. He's also got a black 5 that can be played. Yeah, because they are played first. You play the backs in reverse order. So I could clue 5 on Dave's hand and I'm saying, play the 5. It needs a lot of faith if you're used to normal Hanabi to do that. There's also a white 1 here though. The question is, which is more important? I mean, if we play the black 5, we can also get the black 4 played. That might be quite nice. There's no yellow 2, you see. So cluing the yellow 1, we'd play that, but then the yellow 2 doesn't get played because we haven't got it yet. There is a white 2, but we need to wait for Steve to play through all that before we get the white 2 played. There's various clues that people have got, though. So I think if I clue... See, if I clue 5 on Dave's hand, Paul would probably clue 1 on Matt's hand, and then we get both those cards played, and it comes back round to me. So that's, I think, what I should do. We're going to get that that black 5 played straight away. And you see them smiling if you look closely, because they're all thinking, but why would you do that? That's a play clue because it's not on the chop. It's the black 5. Right, notice we've got the 2 black 2s out. There's only 2 copies of the black 2s. So we can lose one of them fine, but not the other one. So Paul's got lots of clues. As I say, I'm expecting him to clue white 1. Now, obviously, I don't know what I've got in my hand. It might be that he's much better off cluing something in my hand. We'll see what he decides to do. As I say, Steve, though, when it comes back round to him, will play the multicolour 1 next. You play 1s right to left, not left to right. Yeah, so the advantage is you let him discard that red 1. You just don't need to let him. You don't need to stop him from continuing to play. So he has clued, what's he clued? He's clued me and told me I've got no 3s. Now that's very interesting, okay? So it's a 0 clue, he's telling me to play my rightmost card, but we always, when we give a 0 clue, clue the highest card you can that you don't have. So he hasn't clued 5s, that means I've got at least 1 5. He hasn't clued 4s, which means I've got at least 1 4. He's clued 3s, so I've got no 3s. So that's worth bearing in mind. I know I've got at least 1 5 and 1 4. Don't know where they are. Gets around to Dave, and Dave should just play. Okay, that's great. So now we can clue Dave's 4. Obviously, we've got Dave's 1 as well. Matt's got the white 1. I think we should get the white 1 played on the next go round. I'll explain why when we get there. We'll see what Matt does, though. I've been clued a 0 clue, so I'm playing my rightmost card. I've no idea what it is, but I'm playing it. It's not a finesse, yeah. The other thing is that you should always check finesses. And it's not a finesse because none of the cards in the most recent spots are playable. He's clued green. Okay, I like that clue quite a lot, because Steve, remember, is going to be playing the multicolour 1, and then Paul will play the multicolour 2, and when it comes back round to him, he'll play the green 1. So he's getting more than one card, more than one card playing there. They're all going 0 to check that I have noticed it's a 0 clue. I have. It's okay. So there we go. So it was the black 4. Steve plays the multicolour 1. Now Paul will play the multicolour 2. And I'll tell you what should happen at this point. We'll see how it works. Because Steve's expecting to play his other 1. So I think Paul plays the multicolour 2. I think Dave would then clue 1 on Matt's hand to get the white 1 played, so that I can clue Steve. Now, one way you can tell someone to stop playing is to give them another play clue. So I could clue Steve on his white 2, telling him to play it, and that tells him to stop playing the previous cards that he was playing, whatever they were. In this case, the 1s. And then he knows he can throw it away. Actually, no, he doesn't know he can throw it away, because in this, it might be the black 1. So we don't want him to play it, but we might need him to keep it. Dave definitely shouldn't discard, though. Yeah, you might be thinking, whoa, he's got the yellow 1 on the top. We need to play that, because we need to stop Steve. Yeah, there we go. He's cleared the white 1. So Matt should just play. I clue the 2. Now you might wonder, what's the best way of getting a play there? I think colour. Colour will be the clearest, yeah. It won't flag up anything else. Got to be careful to check that. So if I clue white, I'm telling him to play that and stop playing this other 1. When Matt finally plays. It's worth keeping an eye on the clues. We've got 3 clues left. Dave's also has a playable multicolour 3. That might be what Matt's looking at. But I think the white's more important because we get the white 1, then the 2, then the 3 played. And he, you know, this in theory could be multicolour, so there's no way Matt should be cluing Dave's multicolour 3 because it, you know, he could have the multicolour 3. Yeah, he's played it. Okay, good. So I need to stop Steve playing, and I want him to play the 2. So I just clue. I'm just checking. Yeah, this should be fine. So I clue white. That stops Steve from playing the 1, tells him to play the 2. Now, he doesn't have to play it. Paul, remember, was clued green, so he's going to carry on playing his green card. So he's going to play this green 1 next. That's great. But notice Dave's, oh, I thought he might actually not play, but just take a turn off, if you like, to clue the yellow 1, and he's not done. That, I presume, is because he thinks Dave has a definite clue to give. Notice Paul's drawn the black 1. That's the only black 1 in the game, so it's very important we don't lose that. Steve now, because of that, knows that his 1 is a safe discard, so that's handy. That will protect the black 2 for a little bit. So, how many clue the white 3? We need to stop Paul from playing. So one thing you can do, as I say before, is you can clue white on Paul's hand, and that will get him to play the 3 and tells him to stop playing this green card, because obviously this one is no longer playable. Another thing you could do, though, is you could tell him to stop by cluing his 5, because that's now the chop for him. So if you clue 5 on the chop, you're telling him to save that 5. That also tells him to stop playing this one. You basically just give him another clue. Okay, he has actually discarded the yellow 1. Now, that's not the end of the world because there's 3 of them. There's 2 left there. And we don't have the yellow 2 out. But I was expecting one of those guys not to play. Yeah, so I suspect what they're thinking is that because Steve, I think, should have saved it. They're thinking, like, Paul can't save it because if his 1 matches, he doesn't want to save a card or get time to play a card that he's about to play as well. So Paul couldn't save it, but Steve, I think, should have been saving it. Right, Matt's clued red on me. That should just be a straight play clue, but I need to check the finesses. Is there anything finessable? Any playable cards on the leftmost cards of other people's hands? No. So I just play. Don't think there's any issues there. Steve then will save Paul's hand. Yeah, it's fine. So it's a red 2. We've got 2 clues left. So he probably clues white on Paul's hand to get him to play the white 3. And then we lose the multicolored 2 if Dave discards, but that doesn't matter at all. He's actually discarded, so that's another option. Oh no, that doesn't. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Steve, head in hands there. Steve should definitely have saved that one. Got Paul to stop playing. So we could have done it by cluing 5 on Paul's hand. He could have done it by cluing white on Paul's hand, but he didn't. So we've lost the green 3. Fortunately, the other green 3 is in Steve's hand. So it's not the end of the world. And this is what they're talking about earlier. You know, the screen goes red on this new implementation. Like a third of the mat at the back here is now red. It's not clear at all. But that means we've lost 1 life. So for 2/3 goes red, we've lost 2 lives. And when the whole mat goes red, we're dead. All right, what happened there? Dave clued me blue, so that's just a play clue. Check for finesse. Can't see any finesses, so I'll be playing the blue one. When it comes back round to me, I'll be playing the other blue one. Matt, though, has got lots of things he can clue. Paul's got a white 3 that's playable. Dave has the multicolour 3 that's playable. So he could clue either of those things. I'm playing, so there's nothing for me to do. Steve. So what I'd expect is that Matt clues one of these 2 things, probably the white 3, the closest one to him. And then Steve would clue the multicolour 3, and then I'd be playing, and then Paul plays, and then Dave plays. And it all works out lovely. Then again, it might not work out very nicely at all. Got to be careful about the red 5 on Paul's chop. We do not want to lose that. Also, as I say, just keep an eye on losing duplicates. We've got 2 black 2s, we can lose one of them but not the other one. We've got 2 green 4s, we can lose one but not the other. We can lose the black 4, that's fine because we've already played it. The yellow 3 is okay if we lose that, I think. I mean, really, we want to get the white 3 played so we can then clue Stephen's white 4 and get that played. Fortunately, when Dave threw away his yellow 1, Steve picked up another yellow 1, so we kind of lucked out, I think the Americans say, in that regard. And you'd want to look for a finesse. Matt is still thinking. If there's a yellow 2 somewhere you see, I mean, I can't see it, but it might be in my hand. If you include yellow on me, then that would be finessing Steve's 1. No, he's just clued 1. So I think he feels like that's the most important card to be played. I'm not sure I like that very much. How important is it to get the 1 out? You see, what I'm thinking is, do I actually not play and clue? Because what can't happen is we can't have it that I play and Steve plays, because then Paul might discard the red 5. If I clue white, Steve plays the yellow 1. Paul plays the white 3, and then Dave will be forced to discard the multicolored 2, which is fine. I actually think that's more important so that we can get this white 4 played. So I am going to clue through, not white because it will flag up the multicolor 4. I'm going to clue 3 on Paul's hand, which tells him to play that one. I just don't like Matt's clue. He should have left it for Steve to do. Well. I mean, we get another go round. That's definitely a play clue, and Paul's got no card, so it's just it's a straight play. There you go, he plays. Dave has no clues. Sorry, I say no cards, no clues. So Dave should be discarding. He doesn't have a choice, and it's back to Matt. So Matt would have a clue and could give a clue. We need to be very careful about Paul's red 5. And the black 1. Remember, we can't lose that one. Fortunately, we've got an amazing clue now. In Paul's hand, we can just clue, any color that's not red. It will flag up both these cards. Paul will play the first one, then it comes back to him and he plays the second one. So that is bound to be the clue that Matt gives. He would be insane to give any other clue, because this hand is a real issue. It's very hard to save both of these cards. We clue 5, we'd then have to clue 1 as well to save that one. And then we lose the multicolor 4. But cluing green, for example, would be wonderful, because he just then plays them. We'll see. He might be concerned about losing. He's discarded. Okay, that's okay, because Steve can give the clue. If we lose the black 4, does that matter? No, because we already played. Okay, so now I can play my card. It's the blue 1. Steve should definitely be cluing Paul's multicolour cards there. There we go. He's opted to go for the red clue. I don't know how much I like that, because obviously we don't want him to play the red 1. He's hoping, I think, that when it comes back round, there'll be some other thing we can do to get him to stop. I guess you can just clue 1 on the chop, telling him to save that 1, which also will tell him it's black. That's probably what he's thinking. Like, we need to use another clue to save him anyway, so you may as well let him know that this is a red 5. I mean, he doesn't know it's a 5, but he'll save it if it's been clued in some way. All right, it's back to Dave. Dave does have a clue. What's he going to do? I will be playing my 1 when it comes back to me. Remember, you just play all your cards when you've been clued. He has clued Steve on his 5s. He said he's got no 5s, so he's telling him to play the 2. So Matt played his most recent card, I think, which was the black 3. So that was a finesse, effectively. That happened quite quickly, but he's finessed the 3. I just play my other blue card, which is the blue 2. And then Steve, because he was zeroed, plays his rightmost card, he plays the black 2, which is great now because after Paul plays the multicolour 4, which I think he's about to do, we can then clue him 1 here, telling him to play the black 1. The problem with this is that he's got 2 1s. So how in the world do we clue that? And this is what makes the game so interesting. Because obviously 1's generally a rubbish card now, except for the black 1. But if we clue 1s and they're both 1s, which card does he play? I mean, he should play the leftmost card. So how do we get him to play the rightmost card? Now you can zero him maybe. Because he's expecting to play the red 5, remember. So if you zero him, you're telling him not to play the red 5. The 0 is the rightmost card. Obviously it can't be the red 5 because we're stopping him from playing the red 5, so I think he'd expect it to be the black 1. So I think we give Paul a 0 clue and it should work. We'll see. Right, it's Matt's turn. How are we doing on cards? He's discarded. Right, that's a green 4. Bear in mind there's another green 4 here. We don't want to lose that one. All the black cards we can lose now, obviously, except for the 1. It's my turn, right? Has anyone drawn anything that can be played? So Dave's hand, that's no good. That doesn't matter too much at this stage. That's a playable blue 3, so I could clue that. Steve has got the yellow 2 and the green 3 that we really need. But if I clue Dave on his blue 3, Steve will be forced to sort out Paul's hand. As I say, I think by giving a 0 clue. Now the problem with cluing Dave on his blue 3 is that he's also, it's going to flag up the multicolour 3. Whatever clue I give, if I go 3, it clues both, which would mean save. That would be bad. So I clue blue, it flags both the cards up, but it definitely gets that one played. Matt's hand, there's nothing interesting there. So, Matt will be forced to discard. He'd then have a... Right, I should not clue. We want Dave to discard because then it makes the clue we give Dave much nicer. Steve is still forced to clue here. So I think actually I discard at this point. We kind of need the clues. Oh, yes. Well. See, I want Dave to discard. They're, I think, lambasting Matt at this point, who should have saved my 5 because Matt just discarded. He should have clued me 5 on the chop to tell me to save it, but he didn't. Because Steve will, I think, 0 Paul, and then Dave will discard so that then we can clue him blue or 3, and that works nicely. So yes, he clued 0, that's right, on Paul's hand, and he played the 1. So Paul figured it out, that worked well. So Dave, I think, discards, unless we've drawn anything else. I mean, there's the yellow 2, but Dave shouldn't really be cluing the yellow 2. He should just be discarding. Yeah, you should kind of wait for the people who are closer to the hand to give the clue. If Matt had a playable card, Dave would be the one to clue it. But in this case, if Steve's got the playable card, it would normally be me. If I've got a playable card as well, then Dave would clue me and Matt would clue Steve. You do something like that. Right, he's actually clued 3. Ooh, that's interesting. So that is actually a finesse. Now I can see the yellow 2 in Steve's hand, but it's not in the most recent spot, which means I must also have the yellow 2 and it must be in the most recent spot. I think. Matt's clued white. So yeah, we're not trying to get Steve to play the yellow 2. So I should have that one. Paul's going to discard the 1, which is fine. So I play that one, which should be the yellow 2. It is. Steve plays the white 4. Paul can do what he likes, but he has a safe discard. He's got no other playable cards, and he knows not to play the red 5. He doesn't know it's a 5, okay? But we stopped him by giving the 0 clue to get him to play the black 1. So he knows to save that card. It might be important. It might not, as far as he's concerned. Obviously, as far as we're concerned, it's very important. Yeah, I don't know why Matt didn't save my 5. When it gets around to Matt, though, he's definitely going to be playing his yellow 3. So Paul we've got this yellow 4. I wouldn't be inclined to clue that yet. I think the blue 3 is the priority. But Dave didn't discard because he finessed. I mean, that was the right call from Dave, I think. He's getting 2 cards played there for 1 clue. Just need to watch this green 4. If it gets onto the top, we've got to save that one. Oh, that's a yellow clue on me. Now, again, it's a little bit tricky here because I can see the yellow 4. How did I get my first yellow card? Oh, it was finessed, of course, which is why it didn't flag up as yellow. So, don't know what Dave does. We'd quite like him to discard. Yeah, we wanted to get rid of that multicolour 3 because it's making it very hard to clue the blue 3 without cluing the other one at the same time. In our system, you see, you can't clue multiple cards without stopping them later by giving another clue generally. So it becomes very inefficient if only one of them is actually playable and you're forced to clue multiple cards. So you kind of want to wait in this situation for him to discard and then you can clue it and you don't have to stop him. So what's Dave going to do? He doesn't look very happy about it, does he? He has discarded. No, that's an underchop. Okay, he didn't discard his end card. He discarded his second to last card, and that's very unusual. That's what we call an underchop because he didn't discard the chop. He discarded the card underneath the chop, if you like, the next most card, and that generally is a red flag. Okay, whenever you do that, you're saying, "Whoa!" Everybody needs to be very careful. There's danger somewhere. Although I must admit, I have no idea why. Because on the face of it, Matt should just play. If you look at Matt's face, we shouldn't really be looking at his face. But Matt's like, why did he do that? And he can't see a reason, I don't think. He's done it for some reason. Now, I don't know. I mean, I was clued yellow. Yellow means play. I should just play. There's a green 3, which we need to save on Steve's chop. Notice we've lost the green 3. That wouldn't require an underchop. You know, you just discard and you give a clue back. Matt can discard the 2 quite happily. Paul can discard his entire hand quite happily, except for the red 5. I have no idea what the underchop was there. But with only 1 clue left, there's no guarantee Steve would give a clue to Dave because Paul could do it. So we definitely have to save that. Just check there's not a finesse available. There's not. Let's save that one. So they were expecting me to play. Obviously I've clued because we can't lose the green 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the right call. I'll play my yellow card obviously when it gets back round to me, but we only had 1 clue left. Steve has no clues. So he should just discard. He's puzzling though. He's taking his headphones off. I think he wants to think about this without the distraction of other people's voices. Yeah, everyone I think is wondering about Dave's underchop. Like, why is he underchopping? If Steve's card was dangerous, that would make sense, but it's not. It was the green 2. Oh, okay. I think I know why he was doing that. Because we don't like losing 2s. That's what Dave was trying to say. Fortunately, Steve has just drawn the green 2. Hang on, what did he discard? It wasn't the... No, he's drawn it. He discarded the yellow 2. We didn't need that. I don't know what Dave was doing. I've no idea. I thought if he discarded the green 2, that might make sense, but he's not. Obviously, we will be cluing the green 2. But Steve has now picked up the green 2, which is great, because you can clue green on Steve's hand, and he'll play the green 2 and then the green 3. That's slightly tricky, actually, but I'll explain it as it happens, if that is what happens. Paul just discarded. That's fine. Paul has drawn a blue 4, which can be played after the 3. And Dave clued Matt on his green cards. Oh, my goodness. That's an interesting clue. So that is a finesse, okay? Because Matt will look around and say, what's the next green card that needs to be played? Oh, it's the green 2. And so Steve's got it, which means I don't have it. So he knows this is not the green 2. So he won't play. He's going to discard. probably. And then that will let Steve know because he can't see the green 2 anywhere else. So he's actually clued 5. That's fine. It's because mine will be the yellow 4, so I'll play that, and then Dave can play his yellow 5. So Steve will play the 2, and then when it gets back to Matt, he won't play again because he can see the green 3. So he'll wait, and then Steve will play the green 3. So let's just try this. So I'm going to play my what I think is the yellow 4. Steve will then, because Matt didn't play when he was given the green clue, which means he can see the green 2. So Steve plays the green 2. Paul can do what he likes because he knows Dave's going to play the yellow 5. But as I say, when it comes back round to Matt, because Matt can see the green 3, he won't play. He will assume his cards are higher. We don't give like duplicate clues like that. We would never clue another green 3 if we'd already had the green 3 flagged in somebody's hand. So Paul discarded, that's fine. He's drawn the blue 3 and he's got the blue 4, so there's a great blue clue that can be given him, which will get both of those cards played. Dave plays the yellow 5. He's drawn the multicolour 5, which is also playable. That's great. Matt here should either discard or clue. I can give the clue on Paul's hand, so he should probably discard at this point. At some point, though, obviously, you probably noticed these cards are the wrong way round. We always play left to right. So at some point, we will have to clue 4 probably here. Would we clue 4? The problem with cluing 5 is it flags this other one up, which is just rubbish because it's a black card and we've finished the black suit now. So, well, I might leave someone else to sort that mess out. Somehow you need to tell Dave to play his cards the other way around. You could clue green on his hand again, actually. That's probably the best way to do it because he's expecting to play left to right, Matt. But if you clue him green again, you're cluing exactly the same 2 cards. Like, why would you do that? Generally, that's because we want him to play them the other way around. Okay, so Matt has stolen the clue. He's good at that. And is cluing blue. Is there anything I need to do? Well, I should probably clue... Oh. Don't want to clue this blue 3 now, obviously, because Paul's just going to play those 2. I think I should be discarding because Dave would then clue. I just want to make sure we've got enough clues. We've got loads of cards left. So I am going to discard. I think that is the safest option. It was a red 2, which is fine. So Steve should play. Paul should play. There's no rush, you see, to play Dave's multicolour 5. So when Paul plays, Dave then has a clue, and he'll clue Matt somehow to tell him to play those green cards the other way around. And I think the best clue to give is to just clue him green again. That would tell him play them the other way around. Otherwise, it would be a crazy clue. Like, why would you do that? Okay, he's clued 4. It's not terrible, because he'll definitely play the 4 next. And because he was clued on 2 cards, he should come back and play the 5. I think the green clue is better, personally. All right, we've drawn the red 3. That's great. Steve has got junk. Paul's going to be playing the blue card, so he knows what he's doing. Dave, we've only got 1 clue again. Dave, there's no rush to play that, and the rest of his hand is junk. I don't want to clue this because it stops Matt from playing the 5. And we want him to play the 5. So actually, I'm going to clue the 5 in Dave's hand. Steve then discards, which is fine because it's junk. We play, get a clue back. Matt has a clue, but he should be playing. And it leaves someone else available to give a finesse if at some point we want to maybe finesse. I think the finesse is a bad idea. I'm just going to clue that. It's tricky because we kind of want the red 3 first. But if you clue Matt's red 3, even with a finesse, you're telling him not to play the 5. Oh, Steve's drawn the red 3 as well. That's very handy. I'll tell you now. All right, so Paul's just played. Dave, you see, might try finessing here because Matt can see the red 3 and he wouldn't take it as a finesse on him if you can see the other one. So he would still, I think, play the green 5. Well, What is Dave going to do? He's played. Okay, so hopefully Matt plays the green 5 at this point. He was clued on 2 green cards. The 4... Yeah, yes. Okay, great. Now, no one has clued me on the red 4, which is the other card we're waiting for. I think we've got plenty of clues. So I'm just going to clue red on Steve's hand. Yeah, I can't see a finesse. Notice the blue 5 has arrived, but if that's the last card played, it's fine. So I just want to clue that one. We just want to get it played as soon as we can. And then if I've got the red 4, Paul could clue it, or someone else could clue it. Doesn't really matter. Because we've only got the red 4 and then 5s left. Steve's probably thinking, why have I clued red and not 3? In hindsight, that's probably better. Oh, okay. Yes, if I clued 3, he would have played. But it's clearly not a finesse because Matt's red 3 is not in the most recent spot. That is the thing. We haven't got any of the red 4s out. Where are they? We haven't lost any. None of us have got any, unless I've got them. So both the red 4s are in there somewhere. We should be fine. It's just quite slow this way around is the problem. So I don't have the red 5. I know that's red 4. He's got the red 3. So I'm going to discard the red card because that should tell them that it's definitely not that one. So Steve should play the red 3 now because he knows it's the red 3. I discarded the other red card that I knew nothing about, which in theory could have been a red 3. So the fact that I've discarded it is telling him it's definitely not, which means you've got it. So he should just play at this point. He clued Paul on the blue 5, so we got that one played anyway. And look, yeah, it's just the we lost the white 5, remember earlier, when I discarded it, unfortunately. So it's just the red 4 and the red 5, so we're fine. So we'll go round. I play the red 4, Paul plays the red 5, and we almost win again. I don't think we've got a full 30 yet, have we? Unfortunately, we just, the odd little mistake has cost us. It's a tricky game. Right, I'm going to stick my headphones back in because I think we're there. What is that confusing nonsense? All right, so I'm playing the red 4. Let's unmute them so they come back, and I'll unmute myself so that they can hear me. And
it could be any of them.
Then we can get the red 5 whenever Steve's ready.
I haven't got it.
Oh no!
That's true when you don't. Blue card. Okay, so this one's not blue. So all I know is that neither of my 5s are blue.
Oh, you should include in white, so he knows it's not white.
So now Paul plays the red 5. And it finishes. There we go. So 29. Rather strangely, it's still measured out of 30, even though the black suit adds an extra 5 cards that would get played.
I feel like we got less ELO points doing it with the black powder than we did in the last time.
I assume you mean fewer.
Yeah, we did.
Yes,
That's
exactly
one
what I
of
mean.
I mean
Steve's
less. For
pet
sure.
hates, I think.
Yeah.
Viewer. Well, yeah, so I should include 3 on your hand, shouldn't I, Steve, rather than red? That would have been less confusing.
No, match your clue your 5, and then you have to discard.
Okay.
Matt had a clue.
Yeah.
And he needs to save you, or me, and Paul.
Yeah, I should include your 5.
Oh, you mean when I discarded the 5 earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you should include 3 on my hand, because I thought because I have to tell Paul he's got 5, he has 2 playables. And then I thought Dave would tell the 3, and then it would go 3, 4, 5 in red anyway. But if Matt clues your 5, you then have to discard to let me save Paul, and then I don't throw my chop away.
Yeah.
When Matt discards to give you and me the 2 clues we needed, you think, well, I can discard as well because that will force Steve to clue.
Yeah.
Well, very close. Very close. All night, it
close.
seems.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to end the stream there. Thank you very much if you've been following along. Hopefully that has illuminated what we are doing a little bit more. We'll try and see if we can get our convention in the list of conventions so that you could play it too. All right, we will be back next week. See you then. Bye.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Bye.